Dolores and James, a ghostly tale of terror with a deadly finale. James had been feeling uneasy lately. Everywhere he went, he felt like he was being followed, even though there was nobody there. The feeling was so unsettling, he began to retreat into himself. He started to avoid people, feeling like his life was completely at a standstill. One day, he decided to take a walk through an old cemetery. He needed some fresh air and the peace and quiet of nature. He wasn't expecting anything strange or out of the ordinary, but what he found there was beyond anything he could have ever imagined. As he strolled down the rows of tombstones, something suddenly caught his eye. In one of the graves, he noticed a faint light flickering. He slowly crept closer, and what he saw made him shudder. There was a woman standing in the grave, her face illuminated by the flickering light. She had a wild look in her eye, as though she was searching for something, or someone. James couldn't believe his eyes. He tried to move away but found himself rooted to the spot, unable to take his eyes off the woman. Finally, mustering up the courage, he asked her who she was. It was then that he heard the most terrifying thing he had ever heard in his life. The woman introduced herself as Dolores, a spirit who had been trapped in the cemetery for centuries. She said she was searching for someone to free her from her prison. James was so scared that he almost ran away, but something inside of him told him to stay and help her. Slowly, James began to learn more about Dolores and her story. For centuries she had been trapped in the cemetery, unable to move on. She told him she needed a living, breathing person to help her break the spell and free her spirit, and James decided that was why she had chosen him. James wasn't sure if he could help her, but as he started to research ways to help Dolores, he began to feel a strange connection to her. He was determined to help her, and soon they were spending all of their time together. As they drew closer and closer, Dolores began to open up and reveal the truth about her story. She had been cursed by a powerful witch many years ago, and the only way to break the spell was for someone to make a selfless sacrifice for her. James was so moved by her story that he decided he would make the ultimate sacrifice for her. On the night of the full moon, James went to the cemetery and made the ultimate sacrifice. He said goodbye to Dolores and gave her his life so that she could be free. As Dolores was released from her prison, she thanked James for his selfless act. She promised him that one day they would be reunited, but until then, she said, she would wander the world, searching for the one who had freed her. James was happy to hear that he would get to be reunited with Dolores, but as he watched her spirit fly off into the night, he couldn't help but feel a deep sorrow. He had given up his life for the love of a ghost, and soon he too disappeared into the night, never to be seen again. Years later, people still tell tales of James and Dolores, the man and the ghost who gave their lives for each other. It's said that on the night of the full moon, you can sometimes still see them together, a ghostly couple walking hand in hand together in the cemetery, reunited at last. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and tell us what you think in the comments. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.